We'll kick it off with Jacob Rayburn. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Kendall. I assume that you're so happy that football is back that you didn't want to leave the field. And I get that. So kind of building off of that, though, how would you describe what you see from yourself and your teammates, not just day one, but building up to day one, the work that has been put in to get into spring practice?
I think I see a lot of grit, a lot of determination from the team, from myself. We just been away from football for so long, already had a shortened season, 6 games, and then getting spring ball pushed back. Obviously, it wasn't the most fortunate of situations, but I feel like we have a great team, a lot of guys who want to be successful, want to have a successful season upcoming. We've been putting in the work daily, hourly, just all the time, just trying to build up the spring ball, and now we're all seeing it unfold day one.
Do you think it's had a noticeable effect on maybe your work ethic and the guys around you of just how little football you've been able to actually enjoy in the past really more than calendar year?
Yeah. I feel like it almost makes us value it more. Like it makes it just that more special because we haven't had like the full season. We had the spring ball pushback, and I feel like it kind of just makes a whole different outlook on it. Just a lot of guys day in and day out grinding because we didn't get what we expected originally before obviously COVID happened and everything like that. So yeah.
And Jackson's.
Next question will come from Jackson Moore. Go ahead, Jack.
I was curious, you've got an early enrollee for the first time and what your role might be with Jaden. I don't know how close the safeties and corners are, but if you've been mentoring him at all.
Yeah, I feel like we've all kind of brought him in, just brought him into the brotherhood, teaching him things. We'll meet sometimes, just go over like the basics, because obviously coming in as an early enrollee, first time seeing everything. I remember my first time. Obviously, I wasn't an early enrollee, but it was definitely still very hard. So the corners and safeties, we're all brothers. We're all connected. We're all hanging out, enjoying ourselves inside of football, outside of football. So I think we're bringing him along good. He's a very smart kid, picking up things fast.
And to follow, do you have any background knowledge of him coming from Georgia?
I do not. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know about him.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem.
Next question will come from Jacob Rayburn. Go ahead, Jacob.
So when you've been talking with Coach Akina after the season, leading up to spring, and your teammates as well, your DB teammates, what were the points of emphasis from him about your game specifically? Some things that you thought you could target for rapid improvement during this offseason, and similarly about your teammates as well?
I feel like about my game specifically, something that I talked to Coach Keen a lot about was just playmaking, finding the ball, forcing more turnovers, being around the ball more, flying to the ball. And then also something else that me and him discussed was my eyes. There was definitely some times in the past season where my eyes got out of place, making incorrect reads, and which led to big plays. And as a defensive back, you don't really have the ability to make mistakes, or it can end up in touchdowns. It's not like a lot of other positions. And then very similar things for the DB unit as well. Coach Aquino wanted us to be more physical, make more plays, fly around the ball more, have better eyes. So I feel like a lot of the things that he emphasized for me were also for the team as well. For the defensive backs in terms of where we need to improve.
And one more thing for me, the time that you and your teammates put in the weight room together in the last few weeks, months, has anyone stood out to you in terms of what you saw from them in the weight room, and that you want to just give a shout out to?
Stood out to me. There's a lot of guys. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say Nate Pete for sure. Nate Pete is a dog in the weight room. squat, bench, power clean. He's a freak, man. And even on the field too, running crazy times. He's a dog. He's a dog for sure.
Thanks, Kendall.
No problem.
Next question comes from Daniel Martinez, Cram.
Hey, Kendall, just around campus, a lot of conversation about some of the sports that were cut. And I know like when men's gymnastics won their championship, they had shirts on. I was wondering if there's anything talking about with football with supporting those other sports.
I mean, generally, I feel like across the team, there's different opinions as far as that. It's definitely not easy to see a team get cut and feel no sympathy for them. I feel personally a lot of sympathy, and because I know it's very hard to even get to this level. Nevertheless, play or participate in a sport at a school like this. And so it's definitely we're all definitely I feel like sympathetic for that because we know what it takes to get here.
And then you over these past few months, what have you been able to get accomplished during the like off season?
I feel like I've been a lot more locked in terms of school and football. I know this is a little bit off topic, but something else that like my family accomplished was my brother had his first child. So I have a nephew that I got to see when I went back home. So meeting him for the first time was pretty crazy. That aside, but yeah, football wise, I feel like just getting a lot more locked in. I'm kind of really honing in on my goals, seeing where I want to go, and then making the steps to go there.
Appreciate that. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Kendall? All right, thanks, Kendall, for your time. Have a great night.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night too.